I guess now is our wonderful speaker, Theresa Rose. Wherever she is, there she is.
Thank you, dear. You notice how I just metamorphosized? It's like, who's that chick in the white? I want to make a quick announcement before we start. So I encourage you, if you would, stay after, if you're interested, in staying immediately after the service. In about 5 minutes, afterwards, we're going to clear out the space, and then I'm going to run through my TED Talk. I'd love to have bodies there and hearts there, instead of just doing it to my dog. It would be fabulous to do it in front of other people. And also mentioning the 30th, I'm actually going to do the special 9 a.m. service then, and do the like a sacred circle with Theresa. So I hope that you all can come to that. Anybody else who needs to or wants to put an object on the altar that came in? I just want to make sure we've done that for everybody. Okay. I'm Theresa. Who's new? I was in there changing. Wow, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you found us. This probably isn't like your normal church service, as you have seen. And if you have any questions or any comments or anything, please find me afterwards, or anybody else in the community. We'd love to talk with you. So, it's December 2012. We made it so far. I don't know about you guys, but I have thought about this time for a long time. I've heard a lot of people talk and read a lot of books about how important 2012 is. And as I was sitting in meditation asking Spirit what it is that we're going to be talking about today, I got transformation. I remember hearing horror stories about December 2012. I remember hearing about catastrophes and financial collapse and the destruction of our earth and all those things, and I remember being absolutely panic-stricken by that. Thinking, and I would tell my husband, who, my dear sweet husband is here present today, which warms my heart, as is my daughter. I remember going, honey, I can't handle any of this 2012 crap. It's too much. It would just freak me out. It would freak me out completely, because it always seemed like there was yet another depressing story or prediction. You know, you'd be in front of somebody and you'd go to a workshop and they'd go, oh yeah, 2012 is going to kick your ass. It's going to be horrible. And it would paint a picture of just terrifying things. And here we are. And that stuff's already happened. The universe has already delivered it. It delivered it in the economic collapse. It delivered it in Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy. It delivered it in the tsunamis. It delivered it in the BP oil spill. It delivered it in the fires of the West. It's delivered it everywhere. And we survived it. Not only did we survive it, but this process is growing us. This process is changing us. So I thought to myself this morning as I was up in meditation thinking, okay, what is it today? Is we kept hearing the end of the world, 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 and dire predictions and pictures and, you know, calendars and things like that. And it's not the end of the world. It is truly the beginning. Right? Because everything that we go through in our lives when we're worried about the end of, We go like, oh no, 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 we don't want it to end, we don't want it to end, we don't want it to end. But then as soon as it ends, that end is a magic moment. It's a pivot point where things go from ends to beginnings, right? So even if you're on the most amazing roller coaster ride in the best thrill zone of your life, and you know when it's like, you're having so much fun, and you're doing all this stuff, and you turn the corner, and then the cart starts to slow down, and you can see the attendants going, come on, we're ready to get you out of the machine. And it slows down. There's a little bit of part of you that's like, oh, I don't want it to end, I don't want it to end. And then if you really like the ride, you get off and you run really fast and you get back in line again, right? But there's a moment in time when that stops and we say, now what can we do? Now what? What's around the corner? What's next? What's next? So for me, this is a magical, transformational, powerful, juicy moment in each one of our lives. Because it is the end of the world as we know it. I don't know about you, but I want an end of the world of judgment and fear and smallness and doubt and separation and anger and greed. I want the end of that stuff. So, of course, what happens in my world, and I'm sure it happens in your world, is that there's all this collective global stuff happening, and we can see it, and we can recognize the story, and recognize the lesson, and then, of course, the universe gives you one that's just right in your heart, that you can feel that lesson. You know, because it's the difference between reading how to ride a bike and getting on a bike. You could read all day long about straddle the seat in a perpendicular to the pad fashion with the legs at 45-degree angle, thus propelling energy forward with alternative legs, meanwhile using your arms to navigate the bar on the front to show left or right, indicating the way in which you push it. And the first time you get on the bike, you're going to go, whoa! And you're going to learn how to do it by doing it, right? So the universe is saying, here's a magical moment. It's been broadcasting to us for 26,000 years. It's been broadcasting, you guys, it's going to be huge. It's going to be big. Pay attention. Waking all of us up. We all know now is the time. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not in 5 years or 10 years. It's now. Now. Not even later today. Now is the time of transformation for each and every one of us. Because when each and every one of us transforms, the entire world transforms. The whole energy of the planet transforms. So, the lesson that the universe gives me to incorporate this is it gives me an opportunity of a lifetime. As a professional speaker, I thought that 5 months ago, doing the national stage on the National Speakers Association convention, So You Think You Can Speak competition was the highlight of my career. If any of you were around at that time, I was like, oh my God, this is like the biggest thing ever! You have to understand how big of a deal it is! Right? You guys were in my service. You remember me being a complete ninny, right? And even before that, in January, I said, oh my God, I got this thing that's happening on January 11th. It's this showcase in front of 250 meeting planners. It's the biggest thing ever! Now here I am, beginning of December, to tell you that on 12/12/12, I will be doing a 12-minute TED Talk. And oh my God, it's the biggest thing ever! It really is the biggest thing ever. So far. So far. And here's just sort of, sometimes what the universe does during the times of transformation is the whole point of transformation is you go from one state to another, right? A caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. It doesn't become another version of a caterpillar with really pretty wings and a smaller waist. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. So when we transform ourselves, we necessarily have to change our makeup. So over the last couple of years, I've gone through this process of transformation. Literally, like physically. There's a quarter less of me now than there was 2 years ago. She's gone somewhere. I don't know where she is. I hope she's hovering right above me, like the fat Theresa going, "You can do it! I'm right here cheering you on." So I transformed physically, which was, thank God. Oh, I was tired of hating my body. Oh, was I tired of not being in it. I was tired of fighting myself. I was tired of not being who I really was. So that was like, yes, thank God, which I thought was the biggest deal, but it really wasn't. The other big deal I thought was, okay, you're going to start doing this speaking thing. And I'm doing well with it, and I'm finding success, but I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, but I'm, in the parlance of my industry, I would be called a winger. I wing. I get up here, and I feel the room, and I see the faces, and I kind of ground and let the energy run all the way through my body, and I go, this is what I'm going to say now. And it, ta-da! When you get to be given a privilege of doing a TED Talk, you have one or two options. You have one, you could continue to be a winger and whiff it completely and not really say what you want to say and have it be sort of, she's all right. Or you can craft it. You can make it just zing. And so this transformation that I've gone through is transforming myself and my business into being a craftsperson, which hopefully some of you will see at 11:35. But that's not where I'm starting to feel the crunch. I'm not feeling the crunch in the losing the 50 pounds. I'm not feeling the crunch in being a hoop dancer. Even though that's, been a challenge. I'm not even feeling the crunch of being a craftswoman. Although my husband would say it's a pretty painful exercise to be around me during that process of transformation. But what I found this week, what went bonked on my head from Spirit, was, are you ready to lay down the drama? Because every time in my life that I can recall, when a new thing opened up, when a bigger part of my world expanded, you know how you know that? Like, I used to live in a studio apartment in Chicago, downtown Chicago, and you could see every part of the apartment from every other place. Bathroom, kitchen, living room, dining room, bedroom, lobby, one spot. And then I get into a one-bedroom apartment, and I was like, damn, look at all this room! Right? Well, same thing in life for me is when I would start to get, like, my world would get bigger. Things would get brighter. Things would start to open up. My reaction every time was, oh no! I'm going to lose this. This is going to fail. I can't do this. I can't afford it. Literally and figuratively, I can't afford it. Every time. And it got so bad that when I would do these things, and when I was in corporate America, before I even knew anything about spirituality, when I was this hard-driving, nail-eating, type A psycho corporate chick, okay, I would get these projects assigned to me because I was good at getting stuff done. It's just the way that I am. I just can get stuff done. And I'd get a project, and I was 24, 25 years old from being a temp. And I got, promoted, and because I was working too hard and type A overachiever, blah, blah, blah. I got my first project that I actually was going to manage, and it was a $2 million project. I went to my husband at the time and went, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do this project ever. It's so complicated, I can't even handle it. And I was overwhelmed. And then he'd say, no, oh my God, tell me about it. What's going on? How is it? Da, da, da. And then I did really well in that project, and then they gave me a $10 million project. And I went, oh, this is unbelievably hard. You don't even understand. And I'd show them schematics. You know what schematic, like, you know, flow charts and crap of different boxes and servers and connection lines and all that stuff. No, look at how complicated this is. He was, whoa, yeah, you know, and they'd all have different names. And this last project that I had done was a $30 million project, and I was 25 years old. I came home, I remember it was, actually I got the call on a Friday afternoon in a hotel room, and my boss at the time told me, you are now responsible for the project called Innovagent, which is our single most important revenue generating project in this business unit, in this company. You are now in charge. And it was totally mismanaged and poorly handled, and nobody did anything, and it was walking into a nightmare that I didn't understand. And I told my husband, no, I know, seriously, this time, it's so bad, it's so bad. And then the next, maybe 3-4 days later, so this was a Friday, I obsessed. I mean, musicians, I bet you do this, like, oh, this next one's really gonna be hard. So I got all worked up, and I said, so I'm, you know, freaking out, and then about like Tuesday or Wednesday, Michael says to me, hey, I never got to talk to you about what happened with Innovagent. How did you do? And I went, are you kidding? It's fine. It's fine. I got it figured out. And he was like, no more. I'm done. I'm done playing your reindeer game of you freaking out every time you get something. You say you can't do it, you fall into a funk, you fall into a freak out, a place of smallness, fear, doubt, whatever. You get me all whacked out, and then 24, 48 hours later, you're fine. You're like, I'm awesome, let's go to the next thing. So he knew before I did what I needed to work on. It only took me 15 years to catch up to what he knew, but I got caught up this week. This week, I was starting to play the tape. You know how you have your favorite mixtape? Youngins, those were playlists back then. And you'd play it, 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 and you knew every single word. You knew every single move you do to that song. That playlist for me was anxiety and fear and drama. And my dear friend Katie, who is also a coach of mine, said to me this week as I'm working on, because I'm like, no, Katie, really, seriously, it's really big. I have to do all this stuff. But I felt for the first time, I don't want to do this anymore. And Nancy, I don't know if some of you know Nancy from Lake Harriet Spiritual Community. She's our office administrator. She's a beautiful, beautiful person who keeps this place alive. She said she watched it this week, and I was doing my thing, and she said, Theresa, if you know that when you're up here you love it, if you know that when you're up here you are brilliant at it, and if you know when you're up here people get the message and they feel it, and you know you're going to be at the end of this like just, I mean, flying high, right? After I'm done with that 12 minutes, good luck talking to me. I'm going to just be like, boo! I mean, just going to burst from joy. I will be levitating. She said, why don't you just jump to that? Why don't you just jump to that if you already know that all those things are going to happen? Because, I mean, you know, when you shut your mind off, when you shut that stupid computer program of 1995 that's running off for a little while, and you let new code come in, you can go, wait, you're right. Because here's the thing, it not only was wasting my time, and it not only wastes your time too, folks, when you do the same thing. How many of you have that same degree of freak out in some way, shape, or form? You may not be as loud and as vocal about it as I am, but you have it internally, right? The, oh, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. It won't work. I'll fail. He'll leave. She'll leave. I won't get the job. I'm going to get fired. I don't have enough money. I can't. Oh, no. Boo-hoo. Poor me. We all have it. The longer, not only is it silly because the longer we stay in that, the longer we stay in that. But also, we don't serve as well as we could this universe. And that's what I think is what's going on here in December and beyond. It's for us to really, truly break away all of that silliness that we have told ourselves that it's so hard, it's so tough, we can't do it, we don't deserve it. Because you know who that is? That is our little kid inside of us. When I think about the anxiety that I was feeling, but now that I'm feeling joyful anticipation about, what I looked at and noticed when I was executing that drama campaign is it's an attention grabber. It's an ego stroke. It's a desire for acceptance. Because there's a difference in walking in this world, and when, especially as an actress, because you know, theater is my thing, performing is my thing. I can read the Chili's menu and you'd be overwhelmed, okay? So, especially if you have flair for the dramatic, like I do, I would have this, oh my God, yeah, you can't even imagine this, and I'd completely pull in the person that I'm talking to, right? Yeah, it's so tough. And they go, really? Oh my God, I can't even believe that could happen. Even speakers, you know, I'm around very professional speakers. And we're all around in our nice suits. I'm not always wearing, you know, prayer work and yoga pants. I actually do own a skirt. You know, I put on business clothes. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yes, I'm an inspirational performer. How about you? What do you do? Okay. We do that. I do that around speakers, and I say, yeah, you know, what's going on with you? Great, good. Yeah, what's going on with you? Well, actually, on 12/12, I'm going to be doing a TED Talk. And all the other speakers, oh, I know it's totally scary. I'm totally freaking out. Yeah, I bet. It's a really big deal. Yeah, I know. And what that does is, that's feeding my inner 6th grader. Because in 6th grade, I didn't have a body that I would be in black yoga pants with a hula hoop. I was about as big as a hula hoop. I didn't want to be seen. And even when I was seen in the ways I didn't like to be seen. I was seen in ways that objectified me, ridiculed me, made me feel ugly, small, and stupid. And so because I didn't, at that time, get the attention that I wanted, the appreciation that I wanted, the love that I wanted, I get it other places. I get it in drama, up until now. I would get it in drama. Because one, we could become very important people, responsible adults. We don't make fun of each other because we're not wearing the right jeans. We do make fun of each other in small, subtle, more odious ways, right? And so this notion of being able to learn the lesson that says, I recognize that my need for drama, I recognize my need to broadcast my anxiety, is simply my 6th grade inner twerp going, you know, why couldn't I just get a little more? Just somebody to pay attention to me in a good way. So think about the drama in your life. Think about what's stopping you, okay? Now, it might not be drama. Maybe you're really great at this and you're flick, you don't have it. I hope. But there is something right here at the core of who you are, where you are holding on to attachment to something. There's something, you know, because you know what, when you shut the monkey mind off, when you shut off that program of noise, of all the things we have to do, see, be, and play, and find, and file, and do, when we shut all that stuff off, we know we are destined for greatness. Every one of you is destined for magnificence. Every one of you chose to be here now, in this time frame, on the planet right now to serve your magnificence in this planet. And we all have something that we're attaching to. So what can we do today? Because see, that's the thing. We keep thinking that magic and transformation will all happen later. You know, we read, well, that's later's now, folks. We've arrived. So let's choose now to say, what is that thing I can just shake off of me? I can just chisel off of me. And what I'm working on desperately is I'm trying to chisel off the drama. I'm trying to chisel off the drama so I can walk in this world big and inspiring and joyful and aware that I'm a part of a bigger whole. Because see, that's what I think Spirit has created for us in this magical time. It's not so we all can be rich. It's not all that we can be famous. Although I won't say no to those two things. But what it is about is to recognize that it's helping us shift from all to one. We're all here. How many people are here? We got about 50 people, 60 people here. But we really only have one essence. And it runs through every one of us. Every one of us. This is our transformation moment. This is our time. So, as we look at this, how it relates to your life, I want you to sink into, what is it that you want? What do you really want? Because that's the thing. We can get caught in the trap of chasing after stuff that we really don't want, that we think somebody else wants for us, or, you know, that we should do. How many of you have shoulds in your life? Hey, I should do that. I definitely should do that. I said I should lose weight for 39 years. I really should lose weight. And when I got on this scale and I looked down and it was a whisper away from a deuce on a statuesque 5'3" frame, I went, okay, I'm going from should to I want. I want. That's just one thing. Just one thing. But what is it that you want? What is your dream? Because see, the thing is, how many of you have to-do lists? You have things you got to do, right? I bet not a single one of you is going to go through to the rest of the day with like, I got no plans, nothing. Don't have any idea what my day is going to look like. Do all of you have at least one thing you know you're going to do today? Okay, so there's a part of you that's already there, thinking I'm going to be doing this, or I just did this thing. So for our transformation to take place, for us to really understand what we want, because we want to, we're all going to transform. We're all going to transform. It's a matter of, are you going to transform by default, or are you going to transform by design? I personally want to transform by design. I want to craft my life. And I remember sitting in a meeting at the National Speakers Association. It was probably in April, and this woman named Jane Atkinson, who was teaching the class, said, I want you all to dream big. Dream big. What do you want? See it, feel it, know it, be it, write it. And, well, okay, I'd want this, and I'd want this, and, you know, whatever. And somebody in the back of the room shared with the entire group and said, I want to do a TED Talk. And I went, I like that. I'm going to write that down on mine. I want that. And ever since then, it was like, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. So what is it that you want? What is it that you can say? I know you got a ton of things you want. One, just I want you to feel one. Feel one. I don't want you to think about 100. I don't want you to be able to say 10. I want you to feel one. What do you want? What do you want in 2013 and beyond? How do you want to walk in this world? Can you see it? Can you feel it? What do you want? Okay, now if you can see this and feel this, what you want, then I want you to start to imagine that the universe is orchestrating all of the things in place to get you there. Because it is. It is. But it doesn't know what to do if you go, well, I don't know, maybe, kind of, sort of, I kind of want this, but no, I don't really. You know, sometimes, like for me, I'll just share for me and my body, I've been able to lose weight a lot. I've lost thousands of pounds. But I never really got to the point where I was communicating to the universe that I wanted it to be lost and not found again. And finally, through a ton of healing work, I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? I really want to be in a body that matches my energy inside. That was the key. It wasn't like, I want to be super hot hottie girl. I wanted to just have enough energy to match on the outside what I knew was on the inside. And so when I stepped into that and said, I'm not going to be wishy-washy with you. I'm not going to say one thing and do another. I'm going to stay in a vibrational alignment with what I want. And so you have the opportunity to do the same thing. What is it that you want and only want? And if you feel a part of you that says what I don't want, well, I wouldn't really want to have all the extra attention, or I really wouldn't want to have all the hassle. I wouldn't want to have to work that hard. I wouldn't really want to have to, you know, face my fear of this. I really don't want to have to work for anybody. I don't really want it. Then that's not a strong dream. That's not a strong vibration. Does that make sense? It's got to be something you really want and you only want. When you have that, when you can sink into that, you've announced it, and then you let go. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. But you got to stay. Here's the nugget, folks. Here's the little juicy tidbit. Here's the thing that will make it a reality. Staying in alignment with your higher power. Whatever that is. Now, some of you have a higher power that might be Christ-like. Some of them might be Buddha. Someone might be praying to the earth. Someone might have goddess as the energy that you connect to. I don't frankly care, because I personally come from the prism that it's all the same anyway. It's all good. So when you stay in that alignment, what I've been trying to learn is, okay, I want this kind of life. I want this kind of life in lots of different ways so I can serve people but also be joyful. And then I ask the universe to bring it. And I keep staying in the alignment. I stay in the alignment. I stay in the frequency, even when it's scary. Okay? So when you want what you want in your life, you do not have to figure it out. Here's your 5 steps. 1, there is a universe. There is a cosmic creator. There is. And if you're having some trouble with that, that's okay, because trust me, I went years having trouble with that. Years having trouble with, yeah, I'm supposed to hear about this source. I don't know. I don't get it. And I spent years having source gunk coming my way about, well, so is he a dude? Maybe he doesn't like me. Maybe, you know, there's all that program stuff that goes on. So the first thing is you find and connect to and know that there's a universal power. Whatever it is. Number 2, you recognize if there's a universal power that's created everything, then I guess I'm part of that. I'm of the universal power. And then here's the dream I want, here's the thing I want to live in, here's the transformation I want to take place. I know that that's bigger than my ninny mind that tells me I can't. Okay? So I know that the thing that created universe upon universe and trees and babies and dolphins and this building and, you know, music and everything that's righteous in the world, all the things that are beautiful, I know that that thing, whatever it is, creator, spirit, the cosmic universe, can handle my little TED Talk or can handle my little fear bubble. It can handle all your problems. So you know that that is. It is. You are a part of it. It's bigger than your problems. Let go. Let go. Don't hold on so tight. Just relax it, relax it, relax it. And in that relaxation, in that moment of exhalation, Spirit comes in and makes it happen for you. But it's the watch pot never boils thing. Okay? You can't go like, I'm waiting. When? Not fast enough. When? Come on. Because it's like, nope. It's only when you get to the point where you go like, no, you know what? I've said what I want. I'm staying in vibrational alignment with it. I'm open to change. I'm open to new possibilities. Maybe I won't get this. Maybe I'll get something else. You change and you allow Spirit to do its magic. This is a magical time. This is a time for you to transform. So let's work on it. Let's do a little meditation. Get comfortable. With every time that we get in communion with Spirit, it's an opportunity for us to get more present. So I know that most of you is here, but let's bring all of you here. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel your feet, feel your hips and your lower back. Breathe in and feel your shoulders and your arms. And just imagine that you are pulling towards you any wayward energy that is connected to anyone or anything. Whether it's the future event, or a past event, or it's another person, or an outcome of some kind. Just bring, almost like a fishing pole, just bring it all back into you. Reel it all back in. So you are 100% here. Let's just do 3 cleansing breaths to get rid of any last stress that might be staying into your body so you can be fully present and a vehicle for the divine. Let out all the stress and strain. 2 more. Last one, get rid of all the stuff that isn't you. With the next breath, allow Spirit to enter into your body more fully and more completely. The universe, creator, that essence of all that is. Let that come in through your breath, traveling down through your body, softening all of the muscles and relaxing all of your joints and letting your body just settle into a more comfortable place. Feeling your spine nice and long as it aligns to the base of your pelvis. You sort of unkink that garden hose. Breathe in and allow the breath of Spirit to travel down through your body, down through your legs, circling your knees. Let it travel down through the bottoms of your feet, past this floor, into the earth. Imagine that this energy that you are breathing in, this energy of the universe, creator, all that is, source, infinite wisdom, breathe that in and permeate you, envelop you, fill you completely and fully, and plunge it down into the earth. Imagine, if you will, that that energy that you are sending down through the earth is traveling down 5 feet, 10 feet, 100 feet, a mile, 10 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles. It continues to go down, feeling all of the different layers of the earth, your energy and spirit's energy combined into one, until you get to the very center of the planet. There is an iron core crystal heart in the center of this planet. It is her core. And you wrap those energetic roots around that core. And you can feel my energetic roots wrap around that core. You can feel the other people in this room's energetic cord wrapping around that cord. You can feel millions of other people who are consciously connecting to the universe and to the earth right now, wrapping itself around that core. And as you feel that, you notice that those cores, those cords of power, cords of energy, are all the same stuff. It's all just spirit. And you can feel the earth holding you and protecting you, providing you guidance, providing you foundation. You feel yourself almost as if there's a little nice pull of gravity pulling you down a little further down, connecting you down. With your next breath, I invite you to open up the part of you that is aware of this cosmic consciousness of all that is, your third eye, your seventh chakra, whatever you want to use as your metaphor. I invite you to imagine that you are traveling upwards now, upwards, 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 beyond this dome of this beautiful building. Travel your energy up, all the way up past the atmosphere of this planet, energy all the way up past the stars and the moon, energy up all the way past all of the galaxies. Energy is continuing to travel up, up, up the various layers of teachers, ascended masters, angels and archangels, until you reach a moment in time and space where it is all that is. It is the infinite. And in this infinite space is the answer to everything that you seek. In this space that you are melding in and merging with, you have all of the synchronicities, all of the lessons, all of the opportunities that you need to transform today, right now. Breathe in and allow that energy to travel down through the cosmos, traveling down all of the infinite wisdom, all the energy, all the connections, the synchronicities, the opportunities, the happenstance, the luck that will come down through you, impermeating you, allowing every cell and all the cells between, spaces between the cells, to take in this information, to take in this new vibration of transformation. You do not need to attach to how it will be done. You don't need to attach to when it will be done. You don't even need to attach to if it will be done, because you know that in your heart, this transformation that will take place will be like how you see it, or something even better. This infinite spirit is permeating you and working you, and it's working the rest of the universe in fierce agreement. It is putting all of the people and all of the places in place for you. So you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to attach to it. Let's breathe in gratitude for the lives that we have, and breathe out attachment. Breathe in gratitude. Hold it in that pause, in that space. Let it in, and breathe out attachment. Last one. Breathe in gratitude for the juicy, wonderful, perfect life you have right now, and breathe out attachment. Let your heart sing, knowing that it already is in place. You are transforming. You are a part of this great cosmic puzzle. You are. Creator, you have heard our prayers, you have felt our intentions, and you know that we are doing our best to walk in light, walk in awareness of our own divinity. And we ask your help to remind us when we are out of alignment, to gently and lovingly nudge us back, so we can be fully the children of spirit that we are. Aho. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes, move your feet, coming back into the room. And I want to share something with you as Pippi, all of you and your musicians can get set up for the offering as I talk through what we're going to do now. Sorry, my brain. Woohoo! Zippity-doo. Not like your normal gigs, are they, kids? How many of you want more abundance in any way? Raise your hand if you'd like to have more abundance. Abundance of time, abundance of energy, abundance of money. Yes? Okay. So let's take another moment to be more purposeful. I want money too. I need it. I need it. Because I'm going to Florida in a week, and I'm flying in 3 days early just in case. So I'll have 3 days to work. And I was up in meditation, and I was thinking, I really, I want to get in more alignment with money. I don't want it to be such a bugaboo, as my mother would call it. A bugaboo. It's always like, oh, I don't have enough. Or if I have enough, then I'm feeling ashamed of having enough. And then because I feel ashamed, I get rid of it. And then I go through it again. I don't want to do that anymore. So part of what I want to transform is I want to have a greater relationship with this stuff. So what I did was I thought, okay, Spirit, how do I have a greater relationship with this green energy? Because that's all it is. It's just green energy. How do I have a better relationship with it? Well, the answer is give it away. Give it away. That's what the song from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is all about. Giving it away. So I found what my biggest bill was. And it was a $100 bill. $100 bill! Me like it, Benjamin. And I looked at it, and there's a lot of things I could do with this $100 bill. Trust me. But then I sunk into myself, and I sunk into my heart, and I breathed in gratitude, and I breathed out attachment. And you know what I'm grateful for? I'm grateful for Lake Harriet Spiritual Community. And I don't say that enough. I'm grateful for Lake Harriet Spiritual Community. I'm grateful that it weathered the storm of the economic collapse and is now thriving. I'm grateful that it gives me an opportunity on a monthly basis to share my stories and be in community. I'm grateful that there are tons of other amazing practitioners that share their love and their gifts and their wisdom. I am grateful for the building. So if I'm not attached to how this stuff comes back to me, because in 2 short weeks, I'm going to light the world on fire, if I'm not attached to this $100 bill that it might go towards paying this rent or paying that bill, then I'm going to give it to Lake Harriet Spiritual Community today. And what I did in my prayer work before I did this was I asked Spirit to take in the prayers of every single person that shows up today at 9 a.m. too. 9 a.m.s you were included too. I said, I'd like you to infuse the prayers of every single person that's going to be in this dome today and put it in this $100 bill. And I want them to experience the result of their prayer, have that come back to them as quickly as it possibly can in divine right order. I know that part of my lesson is to let this stuff flow better through me. And if this resonates with you, find the biggest bill you have. Because I'm going to ask you a question. If you don't get your biggest bill, or something that makes you stretch a little bit, why? Are you not being fed by us? Or are you maybe afraid that if you give it, you won't find it back? So dig in. Get into your purse. Get into your wallet. And let's hear from Pippi and her pals.
I'm hearing this beautiful music. Such a sweet, sweet melody. The kind of song that you can hum to. Some sweet, sweet harmonies. I'm feeling this beautiful music. The kind that captures your heart. The kind of song that you can dance to. Hold real close with your lover in the dark. Dance real close with your lover in the dark. Song goes over in your head like a sound you haven't sang. It's like a time machine that just keeps like it was a perfect night. Everything is going right. It's like a time machine that just keeps. The song goes over in your head like a song you haven't sang. A time machine that just keeps bringing you back to the music. Brings you back. Sweet music bringing you back to the music. Brings you back. Yeah. Feeling this beautiful music. Such a sweet, sweet melody. The kind of song that you can hum to. A sweet, sweet harmony. Oh, yes. I'm feeling this beautiful music. It's the kind that captures your heart. Oh, yes. The kind of song you can dance to. You love her in the dark. The song goes over in your head like a song you haven't sang. It's like a time machine that just keeps. It was a perfect night. Everything is going right. It's a time machine that just keeps. The song goes over in your head like a song you haven't sang, like a time machine that just keeps bringing you back, bringing you back, oh, bringing you back. Woo! Beautiful music, sweet, sweet music I hear.
Yes. Woo! Listen to Pippi and her band of wonderful musicians take us to a new place.
Of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed days and the dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow so pretty in the sky. Oh, yes. I also want the faces of the people in the circle in your eyes. And I see these people shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, and I watch them grow. They know much more than you or I will ever know. And I think to myself, wow, yeah, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yes. Woo! Thank you all for coming today. Thank you for spending this time with all of us in this community.